Howdy. Today, I thought, let's resurrect the ancient art known as making a tier list and just rank planeswalkers. Let's just do that, because I think, you know, my opinion on certain planeswalkers like Urza or Dak on Blackblade, they're pretty ambiguous. So I'm just gonna lay it all out on the table for you and let it all out. Let all my opinions out. And I know some of my opinions, some of you are definitely not gonna agree with, okay? But that's fine. That's totally fine. But if you take me not liking a planeswalker as like a personal attack, I will assure you that that is definitely a you thing, not a me thing. You need to sort that one out, because I just don't like this fictional character. Sorry, you know, there are plenty of people that think Dak on Blackblade is mid. They're completely false and deluded, but that's just how they feel. Some people like Nicol Bolas. I feel bad for them, but that's just who they like, and I have to somehow live with that. So it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I want to clarify too that I am going to be ranking planeswalker characters, not their cards. This has nothing to do with their cards or the abilities of their cards, okay? I'm just ranking them as characters, because they do actually exist outside their cards. They got personalities, they got stories. It's freaking crazy. Like, Magic, guys, Magic has a story. I just found this out, and blowing my mind. So this is what we're ranking them on. How do I feel that they are as a character? Not as a card. Couldn't care less, unless it's Dak on Blackblade. He has some cool abilities, right? Just saying. But some of these characters don't even have cards, as you will well find out, because I will certainly tell you. But with that out of the way. So here we are. We're on tierlistmaker.gov, and I've modified this template here. Who made this template? Who made you? Raphael_Tanabe. Thank you, Raphael_Tanabe. You have done a great service, and I have modified your little tier list here. But here we got the typical S, A, B, C tier. I have also added and stop. I might also add more, depending on how silly goofy I feel. Some planeswalkers I feel more strongly about, so we gotta give them their own tier. We'll see how it goes. But first up, we have Aminatou. Aminatou, I really like, and I like that she is finally making her story debut. But I feel like Aminatou is a character that they made so stupidly powerful that there is no way that she could exist in the story as a planeswalker that wouldn't just be, like, absurd. Like, she just... Her spark ignited when she realized that it would, and just, like, okay, made it happen. Like, ooh, okay. I think they made her, and we're like, oh, this lore is so freaking cool. This is such a cool character. There you go, guys. Oh, wait. Oh, no. We're just not gonna put her in the story. We're not gonna do that. But now that she's not a planeswalker, she's a lot less powerful, and she can help out. And I really liked her little contribution to Duskmourn and everything like that. I don't like the fact that they were giving her some crap because, you know, she has the power of, like, the fates or whatever, and she can see into the future. And they're like, if you could see into the future, why didn't you stop, you know, the Phyrexian invasion? And she's like, well, okay, that's not how any of my powers work. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm also, like, literally a 6-year-old, so I'm literally a minor. I'm not cool with that, but I'm cool with her being around. So, I'm gonna go with A tier. Love her. We love Aminatou. Next is Kiora. Kiora is a queen. Kiora is a queen. You don't mess with her. Period. I wish she had more involvement in the lore, but you're gonna hear me say that over and over again. There are a lot of characters that I wish would have more involvement in the lore, but sometimes you get what you want. Sometimes people say Dak on Blackblade is dead when he isn't, you know, and again, you just have to live with these things. But Kiora, I would say, she's not my favorite. I don't think she ranks above Aminatou. I'm gonna go B tier. That doesn't mean I don't like her. Hey, I'm hesitant to even put someone in B tier. I don't want to get attacked, but I don't think she's A tier. She's certainly not S. She's definitely B. I would never put her in C. Guys, I would never put her in C tier. Trust and believe. Before we continue with the video, this video is sponsored by me. I have a Patreon now. You can subscribe to it for as low as $2 a month, where you're gonna be getting some cool behind the scenes content, stuff I'm preparing for videos. Also, as the Magic the Gathering lore webisodes are released, I'm going to be doing my live reaction. I want to start a discussion with you guys as the lore is coming out, sort of predictions, etc., because I find that fun and a nice way to engage with you guys. I did that with Aether Drift, and speaking of Aether Drift,
Aether Drift TLDR is in the works, so stay tuned for that. But with all that out of the way, now we can continue with the video. Yay.
Next we have Calyx. Calyx, I feel so... Calyx is very tragic because he never got his moment. Calyx exists as a question mark because how did Clothies even make a Planeswalker with the old rules? And also she made him with the sole purpose of tracking down Elspeth and putting her in line, you know? She can't mess around, okay? We're gonna make Calyx and we're gonna get her back in line. That's Calyx's whole purpose. I don't know if you've caught up with the story recently, but I don't think it's even possible to get Elspeth back in line with how things are supposed to be. I think we veered off into a completely different lane. And now Calyx just isn't a Planeswalker and has no purpose in life. I'm not trying to sound mean, but I feel like Calyx shouldn't have been made. I know I said I was rating Planeswalkers on their, them as a character, but I will freaking say that Calyx's Planeswalker card is really good in enchantment decks. I played it in Modern Enchantress, and ooh, that thing went nutty. But I'm gonna put him in like he is literally one note. He is quite literally one note. Get Elspeth in line. Whoops. Oopsie. That sucks. By the way, Calyx, you're fired. Okay, I just got here. Great. The Wandering Emperor. First of all, I want to say this. I'm so happy for the Wandering Emperor because I think nobody is benefiting more from being desparked than her. Like, could not exist for more than 20 minutes on a plane without bouncing around like a pinball. You think Urza's glasses bounce around the multiverse? The Wandering Emperor was probably right behind him, Oh. Hey, maybe the Wandering Emperor's spark was actually tied to Urza's glasses? We're making a conspiracy here. You can't hide these things from me, guys. Wizards, I know what you're up to. But I'm glad that the Wandering Emperor has been a bit more fleshed out. I think it's really interesting that this mysterious background character was actually the Emperor of Kamigawa, blah, blah, blah. I think that's really cool. That's one of the examples of a character that was mysterious and then explained. And in my opinion, them being explained kind of just makes them cooler. Something that I will critique the Wandering Emperor on and how they're used is that during the whole second Phyrexian invasion, basically, things there was a similar pattern of events, okay? And you can go back and look at this, because I know I'm right. Wandering Emperor's spark is unstable. Wandering Emperor has left the chat. Things happen. Things go bad. How will we survive? The Wandering Emperor has re-entered the chat and is now conveniently slicing in half the thing that was actively threatening the lives of the group. The Wandering Emperor literally shows up at the very last minute to deliver, if not the final blow, a blow that turns the tides back in the direction of the good guys. Every single time. I remember reading the story with Tamiyo, when Tamiyo was finally dead or killed. I was just waiting for the Wandering Emperor to pop up. I was like, oh, where is it gonna be? Where are they? Luckily, I'd say that was all made right in Duskborn, because the Wandering Emperor is actually a character. It's not just save the day, ooh, I'm booping around. But I think the fact that they're no longer a Planeswalker helps that fact. So, I mean this with so much love and respect. I hope they never get their spark back. Or if they do, it's stable, which I imagine it would be. That would really suck and be kind of dumb if they were like, the Wandering Emperor has his spark again, and it is also broken. I would be like, okay, can I return this? So we're gonna say B tier. Like I said, same thing as Kiora, really cool character, but it's not a character that I'm like, yeah, Dak Feden. Dak Feden is just stupid and obnoxious and a homewrecker and a serial kleptomaniac. I also think he's kind of hot, but whatever. I hate him, but I kind of want him. I think it's really cool that, the whole caught red-handed motif that he has, where he was caught stealing and then on a different plane, they dyed his hand red because he was caught red-handed. That is so cool. You might think oh, that's really on the nose and dumb. Well, I like things that are on the nose and dumb. Sorry. We don't get planeswalker design like that anymore, and it's very tragic that he was never used. I mean, he was in the comic, like the little comic that looks like an ancient tome. He had a lot of shine there, but in terms of like main story, no. And wasn't he killed off in the trailer for War of the Spark? God, pour one out for Dak Feden fans, seriously. But I will say, he is just a stupid, dumb, hot guy. I'm putting him in B tier. I got some respect for the character design. He's a little silly. I like a silly guy. Oh, and his powers of like being able to like see the history of an artifact, that was neat. That was cool. But also like, he just makes me mad. Anyways, oh, Kaya, S tier. Not even gonna think about that one. Kaya's an S tier. You might have noticed in the background of some of my videos when I'm facing the other direction, I have a giant poster of Kaya. I love Kaya. I love her. She's got a cool design. I like her whole story. I like her attitude. I really like when we see a story from Kaya's perspective, because she's the perfect, like, straight guy sort of character of, like, you know, she is a planeswalker, but she's not, you know, this otherworldly, like, oh, I'm all-knowing, all-powerful. She's just like, no, I have these ghost abilities. I know what I can do. I know I'm good at what I do, but also, I don't claim to know everything here, man. Like, I just work here, you know? I know a lot of people have criticism of Kaya for her attitude. She can be a little too standoffish and stubborn at times, but I like that about her. I like that she's true to herself, and her philosophy of like, everybody is equal. They all get their fair dues in the end. I enjoy that a lot. Also, I'm just gonna put it out there, man. Kaya can't be straight. Like, girl, I see that eyebrow piercing. You are not pulling one over on me, girl. You are not straight. That's all I'm saying. Also, Kaya is one of the planeswalkers that they actually have been giving a different outfit to for each of the different sets. I love that. Like her Kaldheim look. Oy, 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 oy. Yeah. Love that. More of that, please. Thank you. Yes. I'm so excited that Kaya is really coming to the forefront of the story. She is so awesome. Okay, Daretti is a king. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Both of Jay and Nellie's faves are in B tier. Respect you, king. The Daretti, I have so much respect for this little goblin guy. Like, he is truly a go-getter. He is just like, life is whatever I make of it. The fact that he faked his own death and he made his own chair. Also, his art for Aetherdrift, yeah. Everything about that, great. I love this dude. But he's just not, you know, I'm not like, oi, they're ready, you know? Decipher that. Decipher whatever that means. Oh, Kasmina. Stop. I really want to know why she was made. Because she is not only uninteresting to look at, she's uninteresting to read about, and she's one of the planeswalkers that I feel like they were just like, well, okay, War of the Spark, we gotta make planeswalkers. We gotta fire up the planeswalker machine, Johnson. We gotta make more. Like, dude, what are we doing here? What are you doing with this character? Oh, nothing? Got it. And you might be thinking to yourself, or saying out loud, or commenting actively, Alice, she was literally in the Strixhaven story. Yeah, doing nothing of significance, okay? You know, when I started to read the Strixhaven story, I was like, okay, little schools, little college moment, okay. Oh, Kasmina, and I'm gonna close that tab, you know, like, girl, I could care less. You are just uninteresting. What does her card do? And again, this is the same person that just told you, we're not doing this on the merit of her freaking card. But I don't care. Spells your opponent's casts that target a creature or planeswalker you control cost 2 more to cast. Okay, for 4? Nice. You can make a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, draw a card, then discard a card. I'm falling asleep. Oh, her Strixhaven one. Each other planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of Kasmina, Enigma Sage. Well, they must be pretty good, right? Scry 1 for 2. Create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. And her pop is search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this planeswalker. Exile it, then shuffle. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, girl. You were bringing nothing to the table for me. I'm making a call to action. If your favorite planeswalker character ever is Kasmina, please tell me why. I'm coming to you with an olive branch. I know I just flamed her, okay? She's flame broiled, seasoned, and sauteed right now. I want to know why. Okay, next we have Domri. Domri is... And I know this is gonna light up Domri fans because I've seen some of you guys. You guys really go crazy for this little scrappy guy, and I just couldn't care less. I'm just like, okay, dude. Like, yes, he's got some good accomplishments and everything like that, but don't you have homework to do or something? Like, get off my lawn. Seriously. Estrid the Masked. There's like 0 there for her. Like, we know goose egg about this woman. I think there's something in her, like, little lore snippet, like, she can wear a different mask. She's two-faced, basically. She's two-faced. She seems shady. I mean, maybe they're gonna come out with a story for her, and she's gonna be like, oh, the nicest woman ever. Whatever. Until that day, I am side-eyeing this woman. Also, bald. Anyways. Okay. Alright, Jaya Ballard. I'm gonna put her in. She's gonna be the first inductee into the C tier because when she was younger, yeah, I love me some Jaya. But in the newer stories, God, would this woman not shut up about being old. She just wouldn't quit yapping about, oh, I'm old and Joda is old too, but he doesn't look it. Okay, Grandma, do you have anything else to say? You know? Like, she's cool. But I think in her old age, she just got kinda mid. And her death was tragic. Don't get me wrong. I don't think she should have died. Do I miss her in the story? Yes and no. If they would, you know, stop hearkening to the fact that, oh, I'm old. Okay, okay, sure. Like, just her and Joda, I like their dynamic, but the whole thing of like, oh, we're old, aren't they? It's like, dude, yes. Anything else? Will that complete your order? Fraley's S tier. This woman is a queen. This woman is a queen. When I make a video about Ice Age and like the comics and everything like that, you guys will know. If you watched my Taysir video, you already know like a small no, if you watch the Taysir and Daria videos, you already should know a small sliver of just how much of a queen Freyles is. She takes no crap from nobody, okay? 0 people. That's why she's S tier. Does this make sense? It's like, if a character makes me kind of go, you know, they're alright, I don't hate them, B tier. If I'm like, oi, Freyles, yeah. If I start acting like an actual freak, okay, S tier. Urza's going in stop, because this guy sucks. I do not need, this is the one time I'm not gonna elaborate about how much Urza sucks. Now I kind of want to elaborate. Okay, kayfabe off for a second. I don't despise Urza. I have read Brothers War, and I think if you read Brothers War and Planeswalker right after, you won't hate Urza in the traditional sense that you'd hate something. I think the thing that makes me dislike Urza a lot is that Urza has come so close to realizing the truth and gravity of what he's done, but still misses the mark. And Urza does have the capacity to love and care for those around him. It's just the things that he has gone through are so, like, the things he's done are so grave and so hard for him to confront that he has blinders on to everybody else. Like, I think losing Mishra truly did make him blind to everything else around him. And deep down inside, I think Urza does know that he's responsible for what happened. Just his inability to face that is what led to literally everything that happened with Phyrexia and stuff like that. But I really care about Urza. Like, I really do. This is one of the few Magic characters that I truly deeply have, like, an emotional connection to. A lot of you, this is probably going to be such a shock because my bio on most things is just Urza bad. That's my mantra. I will shout that from the rooftops because it's true. Urza bad. He is crazy. But when you get to know him, he still sucks. But you know, when you know why, it kind of like hits and it hurts you. It's like, oh, Urza, that sucks. And you still suck, so. Anyways, someday I want to make a Brothers War video. I have a couple of different Brothers War videos in the works, but like, man, I am so emotionally attached to that book and the set. Ooh, it's insane. It's insane. Anyway, Garruk. Garruk, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with B tier. I'm not that super crazy about Garruk, but I will give him his flowers when it comes to the fact that everybody is always asking this one question whenever something big happens. Where's Garruk, right? Where is he? What is he doing? I will tell you, minding his own business. I think everyone just needs to leave the big buff man in the woods alone. Like, just let him romp around in the mud. That's quite literally all he wants to do. Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. And what do we consistently do? We poke the bear. So what happens next? That's on you, dude. That's on you. Do I miss him? Yes. Do I enjoy looking at him? Yes. But do I wish everyone would just let him go roll around in the dirt and be stinky? Yeah. Let him do that. Just let him do that. Thank you. Gideon, bottom tier. Broke the black blade. Moving on. Huatli, we're gonna go with Huatli's gonna be in C tier. It's very much middle of the road for me. I think she's really cool, really great, but there's nothing personally that interests me all that much about Huatli. It's the same with like Ixalan as a whole, and I know this is gonna really break some people's hearts, but I am truly not that interested in Ixalan as a plane. The only thing that really gets me to kind of like look over in that direction whenever it's Ixalan time is within the newest set, they did inject a lot of real world culture into it. Not that they didn't do it before, but I think it was a lot more into the forefront with the newest iteration of it versus older ones, which was so cool to see. So beautiful, so creative, so amazing. I love real cultures being reflected in something like Magic, and I definitely know people who are a part of those cultures definitely appreciated it. So that was amazing to see. I also really think the vampires are cool. I think they're cool. I think vampires are cool. And they look cool on Ixalan. Jessica is gonna go in A tier. I can't put her in S tier because she's not my all-time favorite, but this woman cannot be tamed. Like, every version of her is really cool. I don't think there is a Planeswalker that has gone through a cooler series of like forms, and like from being Phage to Corona to Jessica, like how are these things happening? But also, happy for you, Queen. Keep slaying, Queen. I love you, Queen. I'm going feral for you, Queen. Foaming at the mouth when you come near me, Queen. Yes! Taysir, S tier. Come on. I made a whole video about this man. I love Taysir. He's problematic, of course, but he's cool. If you want to know why, watch my Taysir video. I don't have to elaborate because I did in a long video that you can watch on youtube.gov right now. Ren. Okay. Ren should have gotten more time to shine because Ren is slept on, dude. Even before the whole Phyrexian invasion tree moment, Ren has always just been so cool. Like, if you've read from Ren's perspective or a story with Ren in it, this is a character that is so unique, has a unique perspective, way of speaking. I think a scene that really turned the tide truly for me on Ren was when she was giving advice to Teferi when he was wrestling with his own feelings and thoughts on a second Phyrexian invasion. That whole scene in general is one that I hold close to my heart, obviously, because Urza mentioned, Mishra mentioned, like old magic lore mentioned, but also it's just a very special moment. If you've been following along with Teferi's character in any capacity from like his days during the first Phyrexian invasion until now, that was a very special moment for him, and just I will talk more on Teferi when he pops up. But Ren is very matter of fact. Like, matter of fact, but also symbolic. Not symbolic, but like, we're all different melodies, part of a symphony, that sort of thing, but also just matter of fact. Like when Teferi's like, yeah, I kind of flubbed up the last invasion. And Ren's like, that sucks, I can't help you with it. I'm sure some people would want to punish you for that crime, but I just work here, you know? Ren is just like a bro. And that final moment with Ren and Realmbreaker and like the art of Ren being carried to the tree, like that looks like it should be in a museum. I've got a playmat of that. It's just amazing. I've criticized, a small bit criticized the second Phyrexian invasion story, but I do think it gets a little bit too much flack and people forget about moments like that and characters like Ren. So Ren is going to go into A tier. We love Ren. Vivien. Please do more with Vivien. Signed, Alice Blackblade. Vivien just will pop up as like a convenient character to shoot something, basically. Like, they don't do much more with Vivien. Isn't she looking for a plane where they live in harmony with nature? And then just, you know, hey, can you help me with something? Sure. Looks like I'm wrapped up in a multiplanar invasion. You just wanted me to help you, lift this box. Okay, whatever. Like, do more with her, please. I'm gonna put her in, I want to like her. She looks so cool. I enjoyed getting her avatar and deck with the little Hot Pockets thing. That was cool, but that is not lore. That is just freebies from buying a Hot Pocket. I'm gonna need more than that. Yes, I still bought it. I bought a lot of Hot Pockets in those days. I was a different person. Jiangyang-gu, I'm gonna put in as well, because again, what are we doing with this kid? He's got a cute dog and you can planeswalk with him, and they're from this plane that we don't really know that much about. Can I get some more here? Can I please some lore? Could you spare some lore? Thank you. Could you elaborate? Thanks. Karn? S tier, baby. I wouldn't have it any other way. I just want to go up to Karn and pinch his little cheeks and be like, Karn, you deserve all the best. I'm so sorry, dude. Ooh. I'm so sad that he's not a planeswalker. I think that is the desparking that made me like, oh, no. Yes, it's partially because his spark was Venser's spark. That also didn't help, but it's just like Karn is only trying to just be better. Like, he's just trying to be better. And he messes up. And by messes up, I mean resurrects the ultimate evil that has ever existed in the multiverse. We all make mistakes. And he tried so hard to make it right on his own terms, and it didn't work, and he didn't want to ask for help. Like, he was just on this, like, little emo crusade of, like, I messed up, and I don't know what to do, and I'm just gonna sit down and be mad about it. And then people like Venser gave him a second chance, and even then, he was just like, okay, I have a second chance thanks to Venser, I'm gonna try and fix this. But he still didn't want to ask for help. Like, Karn is a good example of how it is okay to ask for help. Because sometimes if you don't, things go horribly wrong. Horribly, impossibly wrong. So, he is great. He is a great golem. I love Karn. And also as a Tron player, Karn is awesome. So, speaking of characters that deserve the world, Coth. Coth is also S tier. I was fundamentally shattered by the outcome he got from the Phyrexian invasion. This is a guy that spent his whole life fighting for his home because he knows nothing else. And in the end, he never got to see it and never will. Right to the heart, you know? That whole ending sequence with him looking at Mirrodin's sons on Zhalfir and feeling very like, yippee, and then talking to Elspeth, who is very weird now that she's an angel. She just acts so weird. And it just seemed like Coth is just so lost. I'm sure it doesn't feel like a win for Coth because he lost everyone. And also the thing that he fought for tooth and nail, his home. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start crying. If you weren't tearing up during that whole thing, honestly, I have no criticism for you. I wish I wasn't emotionally invested into fiction, but I am a little bit. I am. Whoops. Liliana Vess, A tier. She's the queen. I look forward to seeing her pop up more. She's definitely trying to redeem herself, and that's awesome. We love that for her. I love her as a villainess, right? That's where her name's come from. But I also like her redeeming herself and living. I want her to live on her own terms. I want to make a whole video on Liliana, maybe. I mean, there's a lot. Liliana has been talked about to death. Obviously, she's one of the most iconic Magic the Gathering characters, period. I feel like everybody kind of knows her story in a way, but still, I think it'd be cool to talk about her. Vronos. Not much going on. I flamed him in my video about Daria because he's most known for being killed by Garruk Wildspeaker in a trailer, but okay. There was more to him than that, but I'm just like, blah. And they could have made his card better. I sound like such a hater. Like, oh, he's kind of ugly, and, like, his card could have been better, and he could have died in a cooler way, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's just mid, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Speaking about characters that are mid, Luca, stop. Quit being the worst. That entire story where he was completed, what was that? That was comedy. Truly, honestly, that was just comedy gold. Okay, no offense to the writer at all. Don't think that I'm trying to flame the writer for a second. But I will say, huh? You know what also sucks about characters like Luca and Dak Feden? Why do they gotta make the ones that just suck as a person really hot? Don't do that. Don't do that. Make them like mangy, feral, pus-covered. Don't make them like an Adonis. Don't do that to me. Because then I get conflicted. I'm like, oh, you suck, but like, why you gonna... No! That's the category that Luca's in. This is Difed right here. Difed has no art or anything, so I googled Difed and this custom card came up. So this is the placeholder for Difed. Hopefully my girl gets a card someday. But Difed is gonna go in the stop category. Because girl, you need to stop and think. If you go over to visit a guy who is bedridden, pus-covered, sicker than a dog, okay? And you try to tell him about like, oh, you're a planeswalker, everything's gonna be great. And the hottest man alive walks into the room. Not a planeswalker, but clearly dastardly dashing and up to no amount of good. Do not take him on a little planeswalking romp, give him an entire plane, essentially fund his eugenics campaign. Do none of that. Do zero of that. If you didn't know, Difed is the one that gave Yawgmoth Phyrexia, you know, set up the whole portal and everything. Just lined up the shot and Yawgmoth had to just pull the trigger. That is what she did. And in the end, she did not deserve her end. Not at all. But it was very fitting for Yawgmoth's style. She did try to redeem herself. Okay, I'll give her her flowers. She tried to redeem herself, and she did ensure that the Thrawn would, in a small way, live on in Arcadia. She did that. So she tried to help. Like, she did disagree with what Yawgmoth was doing. The big issue was, it took her being put right in front of his atrocities to be like, wait a minute. You're doing bad stuff. And then immediately after, she stabbed through the skull and kept alive and experimented on. Again, very Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth is hot. Do not for a second get me wrong there, okay? But am I gonna give him a plane? No. No, I'm not. The entire Thrawn novel is just the greatest enemies to lovers story. Yawgmoth and every character except for Glaceon. Like, Yawgmoth walks into the room, smiles, and suddenly it's like, oh, yep, I'm giving you everything. And Glaceon the whole time is just like, are you actually serious? He is not helping me. And he's trying to, like, bork my wife. Infidelity is occurring. I love Glaceon. I'm so sorry. We failed Glaceon. Truly, we failed him. Nahiri. Okay, Nahiri needs to stop. And I know this is going to be another controversial one, but listen to me. Nahiri's entire personality has just been getting angry at things. And not without reason. I'm not going to say she has no reason to get angry. Nahiri has been getting the short end of every stick. Ever. And everything that happened with Soren, another example of a man who is illegally attractive and just insanely insufferable. But like, Nahiri has reasons to be mad, but she's just always mad, and it's hard to like her, in my opinion. Now, also, what has knocked a lot of points off for her was reading the story where Ajani is basically on his knees begging her, like, I want to be better, I want to, like, atone for what I've done because it's hard for me to live with it, but I can't do this on my own because I don't know how. I've only ever known how to help people, so much so that I do not know how to help myself, and I am begging you to do this with me. And she just spits in his face. Oh, no. I respect and understand why people like Nahiri. I do. But personally, girl, stop. I'll go, you know what, I'll move her into the tier. I personally, I find it uncomfortable that she's in the same tier as Luca and Urza. I rescind. I'm perfectly fine with having Nicole Bolas be in this stupid group. This stupid freaking dragon. Whatever, dude. Stupid. Ajani, S tier. Ajani is a character that is extremely close to, if not directly inside of, my beating heart. You can't dislike Ajani. I haven't met a person that dislikes and truly hates Ajani, and guess what? I don't wish to. Keep that opinion to yourself. I will protect this cat with my life. I ain't a furry, but I like Ajani. Like, when I first started playing Duels of the Planeswalkers, which is my introduction to Magic if you didn't know, Ajani was a character that I gravitated towards so quickly. Because Ajani is the type of person everybody wants in their lives, a friend that everybody wants, someone that's going to uplift you and bring out the best in you and believe in you, no matter the circumstance, no matter where you've come from, no matter what you've done. He will always see the light within you, and that is so amazing. And I am very, very happy that Ajani was uncompleted. I'm so happy. And yeah, do I go on Arena and click on the little portraits and listen to him say,
"I'm proud of you,"
and tear up? Yes. Yes, I do. I do that. Is that weird? Yes. Do I care? Yes. I also feel like Ajani gives the best hugs, and that's because he's a giant cat, obviously. Muyanling, I'm gonna put Muyanling in the tier because, again, can I please have a little lore, please? Thank you. Thanks. Nico Aras is A tier. I love Nico Aras. Okay, if Nico Aras did not appear in the Duskmourn story, they would for sure be on B tier. But Nico is such a fascinating character from beginning to end. Just how they totally took fate into their own hands, became a planeswalker, lost that ability, resents that, and is also working through their own personal inability to lose. I hope we see that explored more. And also, Nico is just a really good perspective to be in a story. Like, just like Kaya, Nico is not too like, whoa, everything's happening, oh my gosh, wow, like I'm so ethereal and otherworldly. Nico is just Nico. They're just that good, and I like him. And Nico does have a similar attitude to Kaya in certain ways. They're so cool. Oh man, if they ever teamed up. Not be ready for that. I would not be ready for that. Also, just want to say, Dark Pack Cosplay's cosplay of Nico Aras blew my socks into another dimension. There's something magical about seeing the character so perfectly embodied standing in front of you. Like, Vorthoses and cosplayers, they are simultaneously the greatest and most tumultuous mix. I'm just like, oh my god, you're that character in real. Like, who's the guy who cosplays Teferi so well? I've seen them at conventions. Obviously, I go to MagicCon. I've seen them. I do not have the courage to walk up to that man. No. I don't think I ever could. And if I can, that would be a good day. I met Teferi. Dude, I met Teferi. Anyway, Nissa, going in C tier. I'm not all that interested, you know? She's a fellow short queen, but cool. That's how I feel about Nissa. Oko, stop. Why don't you pay your child support, dude? Yeah, I know you're hot and a cowboy, but be there for your son. Again, wizards, why do you make the ones that are so hard to like hot? Stop doing that. Like, the Ram Ranch version of Oko is insanely good looking. That is actually a federal offense. I remember when he was previewed and I was like, why? Why does he gotta look that fine? And I thought, okay, Thunder Junction, he's at least gonna be semi-likable. I don't know why I was that delusional for a few seconds, but that should be looked at by a doctor. But yeah, going in the stop category. Next we have Leshrac. Leshrac A. Leshrac is dastardly and makes no qualms about it. Leshrac is like, I am the walker of the night. Thank you very fucking much. Leshrac is just the penultimate bad. I am bad, I do bad things. I do things for me and only me. Do I care? Absolutely not. I got my collar up. Leshrac's going in A. We like Leshrac. Ralzeric. Ralzeric is a funny, goofy guy. He's kind of silly. I like the comedic, spin on his search for Jace. I think that's cool. Other than that, though, I'm gonna be honest, he's cool. I got my eyes open for him, so I'll put him in B. I'm paying attention when he's a part of a story because something funny is gonna happen. He's just very funny. I don't know. He's funny. Okay, moving on. Sarah. Ooh, this is tough. Sarah's gonna go in A tier. Sarah is a planeswalker that is obviously an angel, but not in the most stereotypical sense. Like, she's an angel, but she also gets frustrated, she also makes mistakes, but she is never inauthentic and never strays away from being good and spreading good. Even after everything that happened with Urza and her realm and etc., she still went over to Ulgratha and made that plane better with her husband. And I'm sorry, but her death is so tragic. Like, she couldn't live without pharaohs, so she just basically ended it. Oh, nice. Nice. That's great. That's so great. I'm not crying, you are. Rowan? Stop. I cannot stand Rowan. I'm sorry to say. I know a lot of people really like Rowan. They go feral over this woman. And listen, the short hair, it's working. But it's like Nahiri. She is so angry. That is her whole personality. I'm gonna get frustrated and angry at the dumbest thing possible. Unlike Nahiri, it's not at the dumbest thing possible in her case. Like I said before, Nahiri has her reasons, okay? She has her reasons. I respect why people like her. I'm just kind of like, okay. But Rowan is just angry for the sake of it and does the dumbest stuff and is insufferable and needs to just like, girl, shut up. I could not get through I'm gonna admit it right now. I could not finish the Strixhaven story because I couldn't stand reading Rowan. And I struggled through Eldraine for the same reason. Like, I just can't do it. She just grinds my gears, man. She has her cool moments, like when she split the mountain and everything like that, but like she just refused to see Will's perspective ever. And Will did everything. He literally lost a leg because of her and keeps it perpetually frozen and is still somehow patient with his sister. That man is a saint. She needs to grow up more. I think she needs to grow up more. And a lot of the reason why she acts the way she does, especially now, especially in the New Eldraine story, is because of her grief and trauma of losing her parents. I understand that. Like, the thing that remains the same pre and post Phyrexian invasion is she is too angry and insufferable and needs to grow up a bit more. That's just how I feel. Saheeli's gonna go and see. Like, Saheeli and Huatli's relationship is so cute. I love them. But I'm like, okay. Like, I will give her props for her role in the Brothers War story. Like, yeah, we love that. I think I just need to read more about Saheeli and Huatli to really get a full breadth and understanding and appreciation for the characters. I just haven't done that enough. Sarkhan. Stop. Again, reiterating the point. Why are the crazy, insufferable ones insanely hot? Black painted nails Sarkhan Vol? Dude, yuck. Stop it. But this guy's a freak. This guy's just a straight up freak. Keep the freak flag at half mast at least, dude. Seriously. Teferi is gonna go in S tier. Teferi, in my opinion, is not only one of the greatest Magic the Gathering characters, full stop, but the most fleshed out and well-written Magic the Gathering character, or I would even say character, that I've ever read. Again, my personal opinion. I know people have very strong opinions of Teferi. Not without justified reason, obviously. But if you have followed Teferi from Disruptive Student to Teferi Akosa, that whole entire tumultuous journey, you need to see Teferi for his entire being and story. I believe you really cannot come out of that thinking, yeah, he sucks. Because it's just not true. In my opinion. You're allowed to not like him, even if you've read through his whole story. I just hate him, whatever. But at the same time, that's unfortunate you feel that way. Teferi's view on Urza and my view on Urza are pretty similar. Like, he hates him, but he also understands him and also sees himself in him. And like, when he was wrestling with that during the entire Brothers War story, it was just so real within the context of what's going on there. But someone who's been through that would definitely have those same thoughts. It wasn't like something that just doesn't make sense for someone to think about a situation. And then also the scene of Teferi speaking to Urza as he is ascending. It's a special moment. It's a very special moment. Because I think most characters would come at Urza in that situation and be like, just tell me what I need to know. Blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever, you're stupid, I hate you, but tell me how you exploded the ball. Blah. But like, Teferi is very like calculated, and he's speaking with his mentor at the very, very beginning of his story. And those two characters being able to speak to each other, and Urza, this is just gonna go off into Urza for a second, but Urza saying like, I'm not ready, and Teferi being like, you have to be. Like, dude, there are tears forming in my eyes right now. Do you see that? I'm gonna zoom in. There are tears collecting in these little things. I also feel like in that scene where Teferi was speaking with Urza, he was also inadvertently speaking to himself. Like, he was telling himself things he needed to hear because he was going to be in Urza's shoes. He was picking up the mantle from Urza to put Phyrexia back in its place, and he has to do it for good this time. And Teferi definitely didn't feel ready. I mean, he tried to phase himself out again. He was telling Urza, you need to be ready. And Urza is like the most vulnerable he's ever been in the story. Oh, man. Oh. These stupid old men and their stupid wizard drama making me tear up and crap. Let's move on. Angrath, I'm gonna say stop. I dislike Angrath. No emotional reason, I'm not gonna start tearing up. I just think he's a little immature. And yes, people like him because he's a dad and he's a hardworking father. Hey, good for him, but like, check your attitude a little bit. Work on that. Thank you. Teversat. Is that my reaction every time I bring this guy up? It's a good reaction. He's just so like... Ugh. But he's like Leshrac in that he's a bad guy and there's no qualms about that. But for whatever reason, people just start bringing him into stuff. Throw up a picture of Teversat and tell me that you're gonna look this guy in his beady orbs and say, yeah, I think he's got our best interest at heart. He's gonna go in stop. Like, he's cute, but like, go away. Go away. Slither off somewhere. Or he's technically a dragon. Slither and or fly or walk or scooter away from me. Thanks. Teo. Teo has War of the Spark syndrome. Like, oh, look, a planeswalker. Anyway, like, I'm not gonna flame him like I did Kasmina, but they definitely have the same energy. But they've done a little bit more with Teo, and he's a bit more likable. Or maybe I'm just biased and I like him more. I don't know. He's just kind of like, oh. Tezzeret? I hate Tezzeret. I hate him. And don't spread your test of metal propaganda in my comments section. I don't want to hear it. I'm not reading your stupid tome, okay? Tezzeret freaking sucks. I'm going feral. I'm actually going feral on camera, like I do every time Tezzeret's mentioned. I will die on the hill that has Tezzeret sucks and I hate him written on it. Okay? New Alice lore is about to drop. A lot of the reason I hate Tezzeret is because he keeps being a pawn for other people. Like, he didn't want to be like his dad, just like I'm just tolling for scrap and I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't want to be that. He wanted to be taken seriously. He wanted a shot in the world. Like, he wanted to show what he was made of because God, if this man is not exceptionally talented. But he keeps falling under the boot of a new master. And for what? Like, he doesn't think. This man does not think. Really? You're gonna sell the entire multiverse for a new summer bod? Be so for real right now. Okay, this video is gonna be 17 hours long if I start going on about it. But you know what? Boo. Tezzeret. Boo. He's stinky. Okay? Tybalt. Stop. Tybalt is actually really gross. I think it's kind of funny that he was completed off screen, and people were flaming me on Twitter like, oh, well, we weren't supposed to know that. Dude, he was talking about Vorinclex injecting him with his seed, which, what a way to word that. Also, what else does that mean, dude? Be so for real. What else is that gonna mean? So when people were shocked that he was completed, I was like, okay, sure, yeah, okay. But his death was great. I was clapping. I was kicking my feet. I was screaming. Good riddance, bozo. Oh, speaking of his death, we have his killer right here, Tyvar. Tyvar's A tier. Tyvar brightens up any story he is a part of. This man is just a little ball of sunshine, and I love him. You can't really hate Tyvar. He's just a himbo. He's just a good dude. He's just a good fella. He's got a good heart, and he's a do-gooder. Okay, whatever. Ugin is gonna be S tier. One of the best Elder Dragons. We love how he came in clutch for his bro and ended the War of the Spark. Strangely silent during the Phyrexian invasion, but yeah, maybe he was busy. I don't know. I love Ugin. Probably second best Elder Dragon, I'd say. Next to Chromium Ruel, as you all will know. Hopefully. Chromium, unfortunately, not a planeswalker, but that does not dock him any points. Venser is gonna be S tier, okay? I'm gonna put him up right in front of Kaya. Venser was snubbed because Venser was supposed to be the new generation of planeswalker, and he didn't last very long, did he? Venser was a good guy, and the stupid card that he got. Also, we got no mention of, because was it Venser Corpse Puppet? First of all, why? Why do we do that? Why do we do that to Alice Blackblade's mental health? Huh? Who made that happen? You are mean. no one ever encountered Venser or really mentioned Venser at all, except for Karn. But like Elspeth and Coth, I think, no, he was mentioned slightly. But like, really? You're gonna do him that dirty that you're not even gonna like give him his flowers and visit his grave? Okay, I'll remember that. And also just the scene with Karn giving up Venser's spark and saying like, hey, one last time, Venser. Oh, Venser. Justice for Venser. Pour one out for Venser. Vraska. Vraska's gonna go in C tier. Actually, she's going in B tier. I really liked her story in the invasion. That felt good to read. Dude. That sounds morbid, but like, ooh, queen. Yeah, that's what I call fiction. You know? Okay, Will is gonna go C tier. I know I just sang his praises when it came to how he treats his sister, but he is so milquetoast. I'm going eh. He is just white bread, milquetoast, middle of the road, whatever. Both of them are, but I specifically really don't like Rowan. Xenagos, bozo. Listen, I'm gonna speak directly. No, never mind. Never mind. Oh my gosh. Here's a throwback. Ramaz. Anyone remember Ramaz? Ramaz was a one-off planeswalker from Duels 2014 ? He was a pawn of Bolas, and you're basically chasing him around for the whole game, and eventually you battle him on Kaldheim before Kaldheim was an established plane. Yeah, that's right, guys. When Kaldheim was announced, I knew her already. Why would I need to brag about that? Hey, I knew about this fictional place before anybody else, besides the people that literally work at the company. But Ramaz, he's alright. We're gonna put him in C. I think he's kind of cool. He's just a crazy old mountain man. Can we bring him back? Doesn't he die? I don't know. Nor do I care. That's why he's in C tier. Tamiyo. This is a character that was killed off, and it makes me wonder why. Why? You had something so special here. Like, she just wanted to tell the story of the multiverse. Like, she didn't necessarily get directly involved, but when she did, it was really significant and helped out a lot. And then you guys were just like, we're gonna complete her, and then we're gonna kill her, and then we're gonna bring her ghost back, and then kill the ghost. Like, hey, I don't think I have any heart pieces left to tear out, guys. You are just grasping for nothing at this point. She's going in A tier. Obviously, as a Vorthos, I have a lot of love for Tamiyo. Dihada. Stop. And by stop, I mean stop being mean to Dak on Blackblade. Stop using Dak on Blackblade as a pawn. Stop making Corondor a worse place. Also, hey, this is gonna date this video, I guess, but like, why are we not talking about the fact that Dihada was literally disguised as the headmaster of Talaria? That was just put in there and then done nothing with it yet. I'm hoping. Oh my gosh. But no one's talking about that. Whose side was she on? And why was she just the headmaster of Talaria? She could be anybody. I know I put her in the stop tier, but I'm gonna not put her in the stop tier, and I'm gonna put her in B, because she just kind of rules. Again, she cannot be forgiven for what she did to Dack. Yes, she created him. Whatever. I'm grateful for that, I guess. But she's still mean to him. Let him live, girl. Let him live. Bevy of whatever. I'm putting it in That's cute. That's funny. Anyways, let's get back to the real topics. Let's get this whimsy and fun out of here. Gross. Grow up. I don't inject jokes into this game. What are you telling jokes? Stupid. Samut. I don't have much more of an opinion than that. Basri Cat. God. I am so unbelievably, irreversibly, irrevocably, disgustingly, embarrassingly down bad for Basri Cat. Missing him. Where's he? You know? Throw up his special art from his card. Why he kinda? Guys? This has nothing to do with his lore. I think he's a little too clingy to the god that he was, like, devoted to or whatever, and that's kind of cringe, and, like, let's move on, you know? Forget about her. He's gonna go in A tier, though. No, I can't just put him in A tier because I think he's hot. He's going in C tier. So, I'm so sorry to do that to my boyfriend, but, like, I'm not gonna call him my boyfriend. It's kind of cringe. Anyways. Oh, Dovin? Stop. Bozo, don't like him. Good riddance. Don't miss him. Goodbye. That's how I feel. Cop. Okay, this picture of a gazebo, which is actually supposed to be a pavilion. This is Manitarka, okay? Manitarka is a one-off planeswalker that was a target of other planeswalkers, because like I said, back in the pre-mending era, they were fighting nonstop. And Manitarka knew that she was a target, and she thought, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transform myself into a nice, cute, ethereal pavilion. And then was subsequently immediately killed by a fireball. Long live the queen. Stupid! When people are like, oh, back in the old days, magic was serious. No, it literally wasn't. You had literal planeswalker pavilions being killed by fireball. Oh god, now I gotta put her in a... I have to seriously rate the pavilion lady? I thought it'd be funny to put her in here, but now I'm like, kind of reaping what I sow. Dang. Stop. Just stop. Think, you know? Planeswalk away. The one time you should planeswalk away, you turn into a pavilion? Girl. And I'm pretty sure the last thing she did was talk to Urza. Ooh. Jared Carthalion? Jared Carthalion's A tier. He's A tier. I like Jared. Jared's just a very typical, like, hero character. So glad he got brought back in Dominaria United and he's confirmed to be alive and well, might I add. I also really love the fact that his sword is named Faux Cleaver. That is so dumb, but also so cool. Like, oh, what do I name my sword? Black Blade? No, that's taken. Gold Blade? No. What do I do with it? I cleave foes. Faux Cleaver. When I first found that out, I was like, you have to be joking. I love that. Faux Cleaver. Nice. Nice, Jared. Good one. Good one, dude. Arlen? She's just not a lot going on there. They use her a lot in the story, but I just don't think they give her enough of a personality, in my opinion. There are certain interesting, you know, qualities to her, but I just... okay, whatever. Oh, so, what is this? Savitri Skarzem? Is that how you say her name? This girl is a question mark to a lot of people. Let me catch you up to speed. This woman is one with the dragons of wherever she comes from. And she waged war on Kawandor. What? Karandor. She just basically summoned a bunch of dragons, came through a portal, and was like, hey, look at me. I'm the captain now. And she was so oppressive. No weapons worked on her freaking dragons. And also, I'm pretty sure the dragons that she was able to, like, tame and use to fight with her are notoriously difficult to do, like, tame and, like, be your allies. So, a win for her. But I think they had to, what was it? Solkanar had to develop a specific, like, contact poison that would just instantly kill these dragons. It's like the poison apples from Oblivion. Like, you touch those things and they're just... That was the only thing that was able to do it. And she was decimated by that. But before that, ooh, my girl was going nutty mode on Karandor. I think she came back later, but she was not as good. You know, the sequel was not as good as the original. But still, she's going in A tier. We love a queen. We love a dragon riding queen. Jace Beleren. Now, this one's actually hard. I can feel Radley's eyes on the back of my neck. Jace is, okay. Listen. I don't hate Jace. I'm gonna put that out on the table. Clearly, I don't hate Jace. But I don't love Jace. I think Jace is a very fantastically complicated man. And he's still working a lot of things out. Do I agree with his actions in regards to being confronted to how he acted during the Phyrexian invasion? No. He's taking a very Urza approach to it. Do I feel like he deserved being punched by Kaito? Yeah. But do I hate him? No. He's just got a lot to work through, and he's getting there. And the way he feels about Vraska, that's kind of sweet. And like that whole heist he pulled on Thunder Junction, he pulled one over on freaking Ram Ranch over there. Oko. Good for him, man. So I'm putting him in B. I'm putting him right next to his Gritty. Because don't hate him. I don't love him. I'm not going feral for him. So that's where he's going. Christina of the Woods, bottom tier. Hate this woman. She sucks. She is a groomer. Ew. Like, she got into a relationship with Jared Carthalion, when he was like 16 years old. Gross. And she fumbled such a baddie. That, embarrassing. Ashiok is A tier. They need to do more with Ashiok. Ashiok works as a villain, and I feel a little salty that who I thought was Ashiok was actually Jace, but That's fine, it was cute, but also, may I please have more Ashiok content? Thank you, signed, the Magic the Gathering community. Ashiok just has good cards, good art, good vibes, good story, like, yes! We love Ashiok. Garth One Eye. Oh, I plan on making a video about Garth One Eye, because Garth is one of the most interesting Planeswalker characters to come out of like the old lore, and I'm surprised that they gave him his own card, because I'm pretty sure, because he was in the Arena novel, I don't know if he was in any others, but I don't think the Arena novel's technically canon, but he is still a canon character with abilities and such and things. I swear he pops up later. I guess I'll find out when I'm researching for my Garth video. But Garth, in terms of just like his whole attitude, like especially in the Arena novel, he's cool. He's a cool guy. He's just like, yeah, I'm Garth. I got one eye, cast spells, I'm really good at dueling, I hang out with a homeless man, and I'm just here for the vibes, you know? Garth is gonna go A tier. We like Garth. Sandrew. Justice for Sandrew. This man is still planeswalking back from wherever Taysir sent him. Sandrew literally did nothing wrong. All his crime was loving someone. Unfortunately, that someone was Christina of the Woods, so doesn't have the greatest taste, but I hope he comes back someday. A tier's getting a little filled. We're gonna put him in B tier. He's been gone for a while. He's a little stale. Ooh, Dack on. Hold on a second. Dakon is gonna go in the best planeswalker ever that should come back please category. That is all I will say on that one. Ravidel. Oh my god. Ravidel is so messy. The messiest planeswalker ever, period. He also was the blueprint for War of the Spark. Okay, the Planeswalker War. If you don't know what the Planeswalker War is, I'm getting excited. I'm scooting up in my chair. The Planeswalker War was literally Ravidel being like, every single person that has ever side-eyed me, or even snubbed me, looked at me weird, or just the vibe was off, all of you are going to be summoned to just a giant cage match. And he lost in the end. He just got whopped. At least, I think that's what's speculated, because the comic that was supposed to depict this Planeswalker War never happened. So we were truly deprived of what could have been a really funny story. Planeswalker War set? Maybe. I don't know. They made a Brothers War set. Never would have expected that. So, holding out hope, I guess. But Ravidel's going in B tier. I love him. But he's also just annoying. Like, how do you get resurrected and you're just like, this is the start of my villain arc. I am so ungrateful for this that you are all my enemy. Really? Seriously? Oh, your dragon friend didn't get to live? I mean this with all due respect to my favorite Elder Dragon, but that was kind of on him. Do not tell him I said that. Do not tell him I said that. I'm serious, you guys. Slowbad. Oh, Slowbad. Slowbad is just sad. A sad story. A lot of sad, tragic stories coming out of the Phyrexian Mirrodin story. He did get kind of like a cool job in a new Phyrexia. He's just the garbage guy. And he's not all that evil, really. Good for him. He also just, died and was completed. So, there's that. But, hey, when in Rome, right? Slowbad can be in B tier. Sure. It's not my favorite, but I respect it. I respect him. Chandra. Chandra's going right next to Nissa. Right next to Nissa in C tier. I do not hate Chandra, but I will say this. I'm getting a little sick of seeing her. Doesn't she have the most printed Planeswalker cards in the game? She's in just about every set somewhere. She's on most of the branding. She is everywhere. And I am happy for Chandra enjoyers because you guys are feasting. You have never eaten better. No one has eaten better than Chandra enjoyers. I am happy for you. No sarcasm, nothing. That is awesome. I just so happen to enjoy a character that most people don't even know exist. Okay? I aim to change that, guys. Let's all acknowledge Dak on Blackblade exists. Please. Thank you. But I'm just getting sick of seeing Chandra. Like, I'm having Chandra overload happen. Partially that's my fault because I bought so many Hot Pockets and she was on the pepperoni ones. I liked the pepperoni ones. So I did artificially inflate my Chandra intake for a couple of months. What do you want from me? She's gonna be in Aether Drift. She was in that whole entire Phyrexian thing. To be fair, she was not in Thunder Junction. I'll give her that, but she's just about in everything. And she's everywhere. And I'm like, please spotlight somebody else for a second. It doesn't have to be Dackon. I'd like that if it was, but it doesn't have to be. It can be anyone. That's my piece. And I mean that with so much peace and love, okay? I can't be the only one that thinks that way. So, Elspeth is A tier, even though post Angel Elspeth is weird. She's acting weird now. I don't like it. The vibes are off. Like, good for her, but like, okay. I'm glad she got what she wanted in the end of that whole story. So she came out on top and saved the day, and that was really awesome. I love that. Okay, cool. So A tier, respect to the queen. Okay, this is supposed to be Mishuval, and this is another stupid deep cut planeswalker that I'm gonna throw in your face. So when Urza first ascended to being a planeswalker, he planeswalked to some random plane, and he met Mishuval. Mishuval explained to him, basically, you're a planeswalker, you're godlike, invincible, blah, 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 and showed him the ropes. But Mishuval didn't really like Urza's vibe. Like, the more time they spent together, the more she was like, I don't like the look in this man's eyes. He's kind of sussing me out. And she tried to trap Urza in a time pit because she just didn't like the look in his eyes. Like, the Power Stone eyes he had, she was like, I don't know anything about that dude, but I know I don't like it. And then in the novel that comes from, Planeswalker, like, there's a section where it's like, Mishuval knew nothing about Urza's eyes. She had ordinary brown ones, and his eyes were the eyes of the Thrawn. Like, dude, quit yapping. You're cringe. She just didn't like Urza's vibe, you know? And she almost saved us all. Could you imagine if he was still trapped in that time pit? Gosh, that would have been so freaking awesome. So, Mishuval, I'm gonna give her flowers. A tier. Can I just say, please don't get offended if your favorite planeswalker is anywhere lower than this and you're like, really, the joke one-off one is higher? Sorry. Did your favorite planeswalker almost try to trap Urza in a time pit because his vibes were off? Don't think your fave has better judge a character? Bye. Sorin Markov. Sorin, like I said, the levels of handsome this man exudes is fundamentally crippling to me. However, he is annoying. Like, if it doesn't have to do with Innistrad or his grandpa or whatever, he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He's like, yeah. Does it have to do with my immediate surroundings? Don't care, didn't ask. Could you leave my castle now? I was in the middle of brooding. Sorry to disturb you, queen. Like, that whole entire thing with Olivia Voldaren and his grandpappy was just funny. Just funny how mad he was at that. I will not call Olivia Voldaren grandmother. Well, she's making more moves than you are, dude. Do something. Quit being emo about Avacyn for 2 seconds and get up. Face the day. B. You're going B. You know what? No. C. Again, going right next to a character that I think is hot. But come on, do better. Narset. Really sad Narset's not a planeswalker. That really sucks. Hopefully we see her again. She's cool. She's smart. She's a queen. She's gonna go, we'll put her in B. She's not necessarily middle of the road, but she's definitely up there in ones that I like. Up next list, hate him. Alright, next. Pharaohs. Pharaohs is Sarah's husband, and Pharaohs was just one of the few characters in Magic lore that is just purely good. Pharaohs was against all types of summoning magic, like any sort of cruelty or anything like that. Pharaohs was not a violent person. He was a gentle person. He believed in people. He believed in Sandrew. And he just was an excellent friend, mentor, husband, everything. And also, he killed Taysir. The thing is, too, when he killed Taysir and he, like, broke down sobbing and had to be comforted by Sarah, and she was like, oh, what did you do? What did you do? And he was just like, I followed my heart. Such a good guy. Just such a good guy. He was killed because of, like, an accident in a lab or something. Like, he was experimenting with an elemental or whatever. And, like, as he was dying and Sarah is, like, sobbing, holding him as he's dying, he was just like, it was just doing what it knew how to do. It wasn't doing it to be bad or anything like that. Like, he forgave the elemental that has taken his life. Such a good guy. Rest in peace, Pharaohs. Pharaohs is gonna go right next to Sarah. A tier. Love him. He deserves a card. He deserves the world. Did not deserve his fate. Anyways, Davriel. Ugh, okay, Davriel, I'm just gonna say it right now, goes in the sea. And I know the people are gonna come out of the woodwork. Oh my gosh, Davriel is this. You should read this story. Da 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 da. Guys, calm down. It's just not a whole lot interesting me there. I like his card. I'm glad he has more characterization than just being a Darth Vader cosplayer. But I think he just has the same case as Saheeli Huatley. I think I need to read more into him. But just outwardly, I'm just kind of like, okay, it's this guy. Cool. Nice. That's how I feel. Lord Windgrace. Lord Windgrace is a force to be reckoned with. I like Lord Windgrace, and I would put him in A tier, but I forgot to mention this in my Taysir video, and some did mention it in the comments, but hey, what was all that with pulling out Taysir's heart from his dead body right after he died and putting it in your chest? What was that about, dude? What was that about? Like, can we speak about that? That was weird. Your heart was in the right place, but you know. But did you need to do that? You could have just not, and I think we would have been fine. But I'm gonna have to dock you points for that, because that was just odd, kind of freaky. I feel like this about it. B tier. B tier. Last but not least, my girl Daria. Oh, never mind, I forgot someone. I forgot a couple people, so she's not last, actually. I forgot more of the Titans. So sorry. But Daria, we're gonna go B. Daria's a B. She's cool, but you know, that's how I feel. Decipher that from that what you will. The other 9 Titans that I forgot about, because we did Taysir, Urza, Daria, Tevesh, Christina of the Woods, Freyalise, but we did not do Bolivar. I think Bolivar is also B tier. Very cool character. Very cool and unique character that doesn't get talked about enough, despite, again, being very present in the lore. He did get a card in the Brothers War, Alchemy said. Well, him as a human, which was cool to see. Okay, last but not least, Commodore Guff, A tier. Guy is silly goofy little man. A lot of people hate him because of his actions of taking a big pink eraser to the story as it was unfolding and giving Yawgmoth the L instead of the W. But it was needed, okay? So sorry that your fave can't literally rewrite the story as it's happening. That sucks. So, A tier. But this is my final tier list. Hopefully I didn't ruffle too many feathers. This was fun. This was fun and nice. I've been wanting to do this for a minute, because I think this is just a good, you know, laying it all out there. We can have a discussion about this, because I know people have some words for me. Please be nice, no bully. Okay, I'm allowed to have opinions about things. You can definitely tell what side of the lore I enjoy a lot more versus, you know, like new versus old. Definitely I like older stuff more. And hey, so do you guys, because you guys like my videos about old lore, and that's awesome, because I like talking about it. But yeah, that's the video. I didn't say this in my other video, but some of you came up to me in Vegas, and that was awesome. Talking to you guys was super cool, and everybody that said they liked my videos, I appreciate it to the moon and back, because I really like doing this stuff and seeing that you guys like it. And even in the comments, like the people that came up to me and were like, hey, like, I like your stuff, and then we talked about videos for a minute, that was awesome. I also like you guys that are really nice and have discussions in the comments. Like, I read through every comment I can, and you guys are awesome. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you viewing this video. I'm gonna stop being a weirdo. I'm gonna stop being a freak. And I will see you in the next one.